gaffing gay as fuck?
Oh, is that what?
Oh,
I'm saying, is that
damn.
what you mean? No, it's just bag backwards.
Oh!
Hello, Tasties! Welcome to season 3. It's been a minute. It's been a few minutes, actually. I'm so happy to be recording again. I'm so happy that y'all are back listening to your favorite things on Wednesday. I don't know what y'all do on your Wednesdays now. Hopefully it's still drinking, because I'm going to be still drinking. And I brought someone special, someone recurring.
OMG, special? Say that again.
Someone special.
Oh my gosh.
One more time?
Yeah, it's a good measure.
Someone S-P-E-C-I-A-L.
And for those who are not English speakers, he spelled special.
Yes, y'all know who it is. If y'all have not listened to season 1, I don't know how y'all made it over here, but you should go do that first.
We're glad you're here, but run it back.
Literally, run that shit back!
Like,
But I have with me today the lovely, the queen, the one and only Bini.
hello, guys. I'm so happy to be back. I'm having so much fun already. And the drinks are very refreshing.
Look, it's hot girl summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot in the state of Texas.
It's so hot. I don't know why I'm wearing a jacket.
I don't look. I don't know either, cuz.
I knew I was going to be on camera.
Look, but I feel like it's pretty cool in here, so
Yeah, it's just nice.
it's just for like the 10 seconds that you're like walking from here to your car and then from your car to wherever's after here. I guess. So that AC goes out, because I feel like every summer my AC goes out for like a brief second, and I'm like, ooh.
No, it's so hot. Like, especially whenever it's like muggier. I'm like cracking a window doesn't help.
Yeah.
It's just nasty.
I got a fucking crack in my dashboard. I'm like, what the fuck? It's gonna be that type of summer? No, I can't do it. But if y'all haven't listened to season 1, Bini was on the episode RDL Men, the True Pandemic, which y'all seem to have loved. Y'all seem to have loved. And yes, that is the answer. They're the true motherfucking pandemic. And if you're DL and you're listening to this or you're watching it,
Stop doing us dirty.
okay, stop doing us dirty, stop doing them dirty, stop doing yourself dirty, because bitch, what the fuck?
Be who you are.
Okay?
For your pride.
Look. So, for those DL motherfuckers, we got something special for y'all. And just for those that are... We're gonna help y'all come out. It's funny because like that wasn't even the reason that we came up with this topic, but I feel like
It's a perfect segue.
it is. It really is. This is like part 2, but unrelated part 2.
Yes.
But no, honestly, truly, this is for the gays, the days, and the gaps, as I like to call us.
You know what I'm wearing right now?
What is that?
A teching panty.
A what?
A teching panty.
Is that what it's called? A gap?
A gap. That's one of the names.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking I was making something up.
Yes, that to everybody wearing a gap. This is for you.
I really thought that I was like making it up.
I mean, it can be something.
Yeah,
else,
I'm
but
sure.
Words have many definitions.
Exactly.
Definitions evolve.
Especially in the American language. The American language. Come on now. Look, I promise y'all this is only our first glass, but I might have put a little too much something up in
You
here,
need to
so.
dress faster,
Look.
'cause I look thirsty right now.
But, yes, for those of y'all that are still in the closet, I've got some experience with coming out. Not nearly as much as this one over here.
Baby. Fucking job resume. Let me show you how many times I come out. But I have plenty of experience, a lot of talking points. Yeah, done it quite a few times.
Okay.
Did it for the last time.
So, if you would have to say how many times you've come out, like if you have to put a number on it.
5? 4. No, 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, I've done it 4 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 7th grade, 11th grade, and then twice in college.
Oh, damn. Okay. I've only had to come out once.
Was it 7th grade or was it 8th grade?
I would think it was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 7. Because 8th grade, yeah, it was 7th grade. Yeah, it was 7th grade. It's crazy. I literally remember that day like it was yesterday. But I'm so sorry if y'all can hear. I don't know what it is that they're cutting. I don't know what it is that they're blowing. It's not me, for damn sure. Blowing my motherfucking mind as to how much times they fucking do this yard. I tell y'all, if y'all can see my front yard, my actual, there's no grass out there. So I don't know what it is that they're cutting, but they do it every damn day.
For real, that's where y'all from, like,
Okay.
landscaping every day.
Okay. Only for it to still look a mess. But anyways, without further ado, I hope y'all's glasses are full. We gave y'all ample enough time to pop them bottles open, make you a drink. We're drinking fucking frozen margarita / daiquiris. I don't really think you can say margarita since there's no tequila or lime juice. So.
Mine is virgin, of course.
Okay, exactly. Virgins.
Yeah. I turned 21 soon.
Period. I mean, by the time this comes out.
Yeah. But for legal purposes, this is allegedly.
This is a smoothie.
But this is a smoothie.
Give me a drink on that. I might need to take bigger gulps.
I'm saying. I'm like, do I need to calm down? Because I'm trying to control myself.
Look. Do it like it's your day. Baby. But so, I guess we'll get into it. For me, how do you want to get into it? Coming out? Should we start with, the why behind it?
I guess so. The why, there's even a reason.
Well, actually, let's start with, we both came out 7th grade. That was the one and only time for me, though. So why have you come out, you said 4 or 5 times. Do you want to get into that? Is that something that you're comfortable talking about?
I'm an open book. So 7th grade, I came out, and then I kind of went back into the closet. Y'all can't see I'm using air quotes because I've never been in the closet. I've always been very visibly queer. Everybody except my parents knew, which they just thought I was a character because that's what I was known as, I guess. But yeah, so I kind of went back into the closet when I started high school. I didn't really tell anybody like that because I didn't know anybody, and I was like, I'm gonna be that gay kid. And everybody was always like, oh, you're lying, because they would always ask me, are you gay? And I would be like, no. And I was like, I'm not technically lying, but they just thought, it's like a straight gay.
Me as fuck?
So I'm like, I never lied, I never asked the right questions. And then I came out officially, I came out as bisexual, pansexual in junior year. And then in college, I came out as non-binary, but then I really came out as non-binary and trans, a few months later after that. I think we actually officially passed a year.
Okay.
We've been out and about. Yeah. But 8 months on the transition. So yeah, that's all of my coming out stories.
Okay. So the first time you came out, 53. What did you come out as?
I came out as bisexual.
Okay. Second time.
Pansexual.
Okay.
But,
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Definitions are tricky.
Because girl.
I don't know if the girls get me.
But
But yeah, I just just came out as pansexual, and then the next 2 times were more about gender identity, not sexual orientation.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just more like I was tired of people like teetering around the questions. Like I'll be going out and a guy will be like, "Why is your voice so deep?" I'll be like, "Just ask the questions you want to ask the dog.
Right.
Like, you know what you're trying to get at." So I was like, I'm pretty open about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm trans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just more so I wouldn't have to constantly deal with people questioning me.
Interesting. I definitely understand that. So for those of y'all who don't know, which if you don't know, I don't know how you don't know. I came out 7th grade to this one right here, actually. Oh my gosh, the immense help that I just I remember
Saying
those
that
days.
helped me so much.
Yeah,
So much easier.
like it was nice because I just remember when I came out to you, I was like, what's gonna happen?
Right?
I was like, I'm all alone.
Like you feel good about it, and then you press send or you say it out loud, and you're like, oh my god, it's just instant panic.
Yes. And literally, I remember when I got that message back, it was like a few days later. I just remember I was at Home Depot. And I was walking, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I think I like teared up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I was like, oh my gosh, the comfort. But that was definitely like a moment that like I'll always remember. So I think for me, I came out 7th grade to my friends. It was a very quick process for me. It was like I was bi-curious, which I didn't even know what that was until you told me. I was like, what? Let me look that up on Urban Dictionary. And then it was like maybe like a week or two later, I saw this person at Walmart, and I was like, wow, you are a fine, attractive man. No one. And that is when I texted you, and I was like, so.
Immediately.
Like, it was so quick. I was like, okay, like, I'm confused, but, like, I'm not confused anymore. And then, like, I kind of just came out to the rest of my friend group. I would like to say that I was probably the first person that came out in my middle school. So, I paved the way. No. Literally. I was the Nicki Minaj before Cardi B and everything. I'm the female now. And then to my family, I think I came out that same year. That was a process. I didn't come out to my like other family. Actually, I never came out to my other family till this day. They all just found out. It was like they do, especially in African American households, honey.
Especially in African households.
Look, I came out. So let me see. Because I think it's one of those things where it's like, you have to get comfortable with it first. And I think that's the one thing that people don't understand is when you're coming out, you're not, it's one of those things where it's like, I may know, and I may be messing around with guys, I may be messing around with girls, because you don't have to be getting come out. But I still have to be comfortable with it. I have to make sense of it and everything. Because it's a change, It might be something that you've always realized, but it's not something that you've always explored. And now that you're exploring it, it's kind of like driving. You gotta get comfortable with driving. And then once you start driving, now you're driving with one hand. Then you start eating and driving, and you're driving with your knees. And now it's just, shit. Let me close my eyes and take a little rest on the road for a little bit. Like, shit.
Let's not do that, guys. This is all metaphorical.
All metaphorically.
Yes.
But, some of us, no. Some of us may just be capable. But, and that's kind of how it was. So when it came to coming out to my, like, extended family, like my aunts, which we're all very close, it was one of those things where my aunt, who I was very close to, one of her friends told her. And I didn't even know her at the time. And I was on, You Now? It was like a little live thing.
Kind of like Eva.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I was on there, but I was under the LGBT tag, and the girl came on, and she was like, I was like, wow, my aunt has a friend whose name is, that, and it was crazy because it was like I had never met the girl. It was literally a whole there's tons of people on there. So the fact that she managed to click
Why
on my
should
live,
the LGBT tag?
okay,
Kinda.
and so then she ended up. She was like, we found out she was my aunt's friend. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And then she texted my aunt, was like, she sent her a screenshot. Was like, is this your nephew? Or no, not me meeting your nephew on You Now. And my aunt texted immediately after. Was like, why didn't you tell me? And I was literally in the middle of the live, and I was like, broadcast it.
Oh my goodness.
But she was okay with it. She was like, I just wish that I would have found out from you than someone else, especially if you're online and stuff about it. And then my other aunt found out. My other aunt was super sad that I didn't tell her. And then my grandma found out. So everyone is completely comfortable with it, but I think it was coming out to my parents that was the hardest thing for me. I came out to them 3 times.
3?
Yeah.
So why did the first 2 not take?
I don't know. So, and we actually had a conversation about this a couple months ago, and because I was like, I don't understand why y'all felt. First off, why y'all felt the need to have me come out. I wanted to come out when I was comfortable with it, and clearly, I wasn't comfortable with it. And then I was like, so then 2 times after that, y'all are still asking, is it a phase? Is it this? Is it that? No, it's not. I think I hate that question of this or the statement. Well, maybe it's just a phase. Maybe it is.
Alright, was your straightness a phase?
Right.
Why do straight
love
kids
to say that.
have to straight kids can never straight, but queer kids have to be confused?
Literally.
It's annoying.
It's maybe it is a phase. Maybe I am confused. But as of right now, I think people, because especially in African American, and not even African American households, because it's very predominant in POC households, where it's not only are you coming out as queer, whatever that may be, you're also a POC. So some families may see it as you're already at a lower playing field than your, and I hate to say it, Caucasian counterparts, where they're seen as liked and loved by the vast majority, whereas you as a POC are not. So now here it is coming out as queer. So now it's double homicide. And so I think for them it was we want to make sure that you understand what it is that you're saying, because if you come out as that, it's a lot harder to come back. Which it's crazy because I've seen people come out as that in middle school and now completely straight. I mean, shit. We know our friend from last episode still hasn't come out.
Jerry's still out.
Oh, really?
But yeah, no, it's really interesting. But even historically speaking, not that white queer people don't have it hard, but historically speaking, the queer liberation movements and for equal rights was started by Black and Latino queer people, specifically trans women, but it became co-opted by white gays and lesbians, and it was kind of we'll get through the door first and open it for you guys, but even in queer spaces, there's still so much racism. So it's you do have it harder as a queer person of color in terms of desirability, in terms of safety, in terms of opportunity, and things like that.
Exactly, and that's what people don't understand. And it's interesting. I was talking to one of my friends about it. I'm like, yes, I am a bisexual male, whether people believe it or not. Similar to how you would say in high school, when people ask me, are you gay? No, I'm not. I'm not lying to you. I'm not half lying to you. I'm not gay. If I came up to you and said, or not to you, but to the person asking, and said, "Are you?" I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. You
That
know,
makes sense.
exactly. So it's like I can't even explain it to you because you have not been where I'm at. You know, and some people may see that as, oh, well, you're lying, or you could have corrected them, or this, that, and the other. No, because how many times do you correct people when they say your name wrong, or when they spell it wrong? How many times do you walk into Starbucks, you tell them your name is Sarah, and they forget the H, or they add the H, or you got some weird ass spelling for Sarah because there's 18,000 different ways. How many times are you going to correct them? No, you're there to get your damn drink. Or you probably are already late and you don't feel like you've been having to have that conversation. Like, fucker, why are you asking for my name? You know? So that's kind of how it was for me, where it's just like, I'm not going to correct you because I don't even, like, why are we having this? Why does it matter to you? And I think that's the question that y'all need to start asking is, it's not a matter of why are we coming out. It's a matter of why do we have to come out.
For real. Especially because I'm like, most of the times you already know.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if their point is to try to like humiliate you, like they think it's something you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
But it's also it's a safety thing. Like, you know, like earlier when I first began my transition, like for the most part, people are respectful. Like I don't really get sirred or heed, but for people who do know me, like whenever they would say he, after a while I'm just like, there's no point in correcting you. You're gonna get it if you don't. Like that doesn't change who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like you do get so tired to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
And I understand that. And I think, and I've never experienced that. You know, even being a queer person, which I don't even identify as bisexual as much as I identify as queer. Because that's the whole other thing is, you don't understand. I think it's harder coming out as bisexual than it is coming out as gay or lesbian. Because, which I'm sure you can speak on it as well. For me, it's kind of like, it just seems more confusion. People don't understand is that there's actually a homophobia within the queer community as coming out as bisexual. Because one, you're seen as scandalous and a hoe. I'm like, which unfortunately I cannot debunk that, but that has
Not me personally, but yeah, there is a lot of
stigma.
homophobia within the queer community.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, either they try to say you're not queer enough, or they say that you're confused, or for some reason both like straight and gay people don't want to date bisexual men or women for some odd reason. I don't personally know, but yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah. Where it's like, y'all have to understand that you're first off mistaking a bisexual person with a DL person. Because for the most part, if you're bisexual, at least the ones that I have run into, they're, you know, we're not obviously like, if I'm single, I'm single. We're gonna be at that. But if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. You know. So I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh well, you may be sleeping with me, or you may be talking to me, or dating me, or married to me, and then turn around and go have sex with someone else. A cheater's a cheater regardless.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like that happens in every type of
Okay.
relationship.
A cheater is a cheater regardless. That's your phobias coming out right there. That's your insecurities coming out right there. What it is when the DL people come and they're with the woman, but they're sleeping with men and they're not telling people. That is where you're scandalous, you're this, you're that. Don't get it confused, people. Don't get it confused. Okay? So do you have, you're like, okay, noted. But let's get into some tips.
Yes.
Actually, let's get into some tips after the break. Because we gotta refill our cups. And we are back.
We are black.
Okay? Back black is better than ever.
Black. Have you seen that? Shake the leg from the All-Stars. I love her. Everyone, you don't watch Drag Race.
I'm gonna try to get into it.
This All-Stars promo that just came out, baby, pussy.
I'm gonna try to get into it.
I love it.
Like, I think that's one thing. I'm so detached from the queer community.
Well, Drag Race is definitely not the pinnacle. It's just a comment.
True. But I think, like, because I honestly, truly, I feel like if I were to do drag, I'd kill the game. I feel like I'd kill the
That's
game.
really how I feel. Like, I want to go to an amateur drag night. Just get your stuff.
Yes! I feel like I would. First off, I like to dance in general. I'd be in my damn apartment just dancing. So I'm like,
Great dancing. Performing, God.
okay? I'm like, perform in front of people?
The back of my back is swaying. The small of my back is swaying. Like, I'm performing.
Okay. Like, I'd be in here putting on a whole show. So I'm like, let me get in some drag and do this in front of a bunch of people and possibly make some money. Stop my ass the fuck up, bitch. Like, cross out everybody else's name and put my name on there, okay?
That's how I learned makeup. Whenever I was first starting, I was watching drag queen tutorials.
Oh, really?
I was like, let me try and have the nigga bring out the woman.
Okay.
You know, ever since then, though, we've, since upgraded to soft and delicate.
God, I was literally just telling her, I'm like, your makeup right now, like, it's looking good.
Thank you.
I made us some more smoothies. They're good. Okay, some more. Oh, this one's different. It's peach mango with coconut.
I was gonna say, yes.
Yeah. But let's get into the tips of coming out. And I first want to say, tip number 1, if you're not comfortable or ready to come out, don't come out.
Yes, very big emphasis on safety first. Please, oh my God.
Safety is like number 1 priority with this. Everybody loves to make you the token gay, or the token lesbian, or the token bisexual, or the token trans, or the token pan, or all of this stuff. If you don't want to be the token, don't be the fucking token. They love to, oh, this is my GBF. They would, oh, this is this.
Oh my God.
They love to introduce you as that. No, I'm your best friend.
Like, why does every single comment have to be, yes, Queen Slay Hunty Purr, boots down, baby? I'm like, you can just say I look pretty.
Okay! Like, just look, I look good, that's it. Leave it at that. Like, I hate it. I hate when people are like, oh, I'm talking to this guy, I'm gonna tell him you're gay. I don't know him.
No.
And I'm not gay. So why are you coming to, like, no. So first off, stand your ground, stand your boundaries. I know earlier we said that when people would ask if we're gay. I'm not. I'm not, but I'm also not gonna go into depth of explaining and teaching you on something that I feel like you should honestly truly already have the education on. So definitely be comfortable when you're coming out, whether that be to your friends, whether that be to your family. Understand that you need to be in a safe environment with these people and understand how you feel when you're coming out to them or how you feel when you're around them. There's oftentimes I'll go to the club with people and I'm like, I do not feel comfortable here. And I'll go to the club, I could go to the same club with somebody else and I'm like, I feel comfortable. So understand your surroundings, because if you don't feel comfortable with them and they're not asking you if you're comfortable and you're okay, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely lucky in that department, like all of my friends. Especially because when we go out, it's always in the straight scene. They definitely prioritize my safety and like making sure I'm comfortable for around like dudes. Like they won't like tell them unless I'm comfortable with it, or they won't, bring them around if I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah, and they should. Because ultimately, it's the same. Like if I take you to a gay club. Like it's all about comfortability or comfortableness and safety. If you come here with me, I'm gonna make sure. Hey, are you okay? Because let's be honest, a lot of straight people don't like to go. Although sometimes they can be a little lit depending on where you go.
They can get in their life.
Okay.
They really get in their life.
Okay. So that's definitely tip number 1: is be comfortable with who you're coming out with or who you're coming out to, but also be comfortable in your sexuality. If you're not comfortable, if you just found out that you're gay or bi or whatever it is that you're coming out as, be comfortable with it first because it's gonna make that conversation a lot easier. Because I'm gonna let y'all know nobody's gonna be like, oh okay, it's gonna come with some questions. I feel like everybody that came out to was just kind of like, when did you find out, or what makes you think this, or this, that, and the
It's
other.
been a year since the last time. I'm still getting questions.
Okay.
Next time.
Okay. So it's literally just like make sure that you're ready for. I'm a person who I hate when people ask questions. I can't stand it. Just take what it is that I say and take it at that. So when I came out, I already knew that my parents were gonna ask me questions, and I wasn't ready for that. So it was just like, ugh. It's just it makes the experience a lot worse. So just make sure you're comfortable with it and that you understand it.
Personally, for me, I like when they ask questions because then I'm like, let's just get all this out of the way at the beginning and then we can move on. Because it's like you can always sense, like I'll be out in public sometimes and they'll see, makeup and hair at the top and they'll see titties and they're still trying to figure out, are you a boy or girl? And they'll like literally just stare at my crotch. And I'm like,
That's weird.
Yeah, that's like really weird. I'm like, first of all, honey, this type is tight. You're not gonna clock shit.
Okay.
And second of all, this is literally none of your business. Like,
Yeah.
why is that the first thing you think of? Is what genitalia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never thought to do that. That is weird. That's first off predatory. That is so weird.
No, this is weird. I had a friend, and she was telling me she's trans. She was in the bathroom, and I guess like there was these women who knew that she was trans, and they were like trying to peek, like through the little cracks in the stall while she was using it. And she had to wait till they left so she could use the fucking bathroom.
And y'all wonder why y'all be getting fucking clocked in the damn face. Y'all fucking need that shit. Y'all fucking more angel numbers. That's crazy. I've been seeing those all the time. But I think those are like very important tips. And when you're coming out, I don't think that there's ever a good time to come out. Me personally, I don't think there's like
unless you're just surrounded by 100% accepting, knowledgeable people. I personally haven't heard of a perfect coming out story. I mean, maybe it exists for some people. There's probably more now than before, but it's gonna come with hurdles.
Yeah,
for sure. You just have to be ready for that. But when you are in a space where you do feel safe and comfortable, I personally don't see how I continue living in the closet because now I'm like everything's so much easier, but it's also that's speaking from a place of immense privilege as well.
That is very true.
If I was back in Burundi, I'd probably, be thinking about marriage and kids and all those things versus, focusing on me.
I think it definitely, like my vision of coming out definitely does come from a vision place. It's so interesting to see people on Grindr who are like 40 plus years old and still like curious. And I'm like, what? Or people who, I don't know, for me, I never understand why people wait so long to come out. Because it's when I came out, or when I like was officially like accepting of who it is that I am as a person, you can tell me otherwise. If you didn't like who I was or what it was that, first off, who I'm sleeping with is none of your damn business because I'm not sleeping with you. I never understand that. It's like, you don't like me because I'm attracted to the same sex, but I'm not attracted to you. So why does that matter to you? You couldn't get my. I wouldn't even bat a damn eye at you.
No,
So,
for real. I didn't even realize he was in the room.
Okay, you pressed over something because I'm shaking my motherfucking ass, bitch. Was I shaking my ass at you? Fuck no.
Same.
Okay, so I don't know. But I think once you come out, you're going to, and I mean, obviously this is from my experience. I can't even speak on your experience. I can't speak on anyone's experience but mine. The very first time when I came out to my parents, it was awful. I hated it. I hated every time I had to come out to them. I hated them knowing up until I moved out. just didn't like it. I still lived my happy-go-lucky life, but it was just like, fuck, I like would have preferred to do this on my own terms. Now, honey, I'm living on my own. I'm paying my own rent, my own bills, my own car note, everything. I ain't got to worry about the damn thing. If I didn't want to talk to my parents for 3 months, I could not talk to my parents for 3 months and still be able to move about life freely. So now...
And I am sitting in his abode, and it is very nice. He's doing very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, he can do what he wants to. My friend can do what he wants to.
Period. Period. And for me, it's like, who's going to tell me otherwise? So I'll never understand what people are like, you know, I'm 27 years old, living on my own, this, that, and the other. And it's like, babes, we're in 2022. And I think that's what y'all are scared to realize is most people are so worried about themselves that they're not worried about you. You coming out, that's a quarter of the battle. That's an eighth of the battle. It's you coming out and being who you are, that's the battle. It's you coming out and going to the queer spaces and figuring out if you're accepted or not. It's you coming out and being with a guy and walking down those damn streets with something holding their hand. That's another battle. You know, you coming out is just, that's a small fraction of it. I think the hardest part for me is really being in a relationship with a guy and them wanting to hold my hand. And I'm like, we might get shot for this.
No, literally, like, going, because all my friends, well, majority of them, like, when I go out, are cisgender women. And so, one, I'm towering over these girls by, like, 6 inches, depending on what shoes I'm wearing.
Let me put on
some So, like, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, and that girl do be dressing, and her negligibles, you know, very minimal. So I'm like, I can't help but walk into a room and catch attention, and that's been way harder, like, dealing with it, because sometimes I'm like, I can't tell by the way this nigga's looking at me, do you want to kiss me or do you want to kill me?
Okay.
Which one is it? And most of the time it's not wanting to kill me, so I'm like, it really do be in my head. I'm over here thinking I'm getting clocked and it's about to be a dangerous situation. I mean, while he just came and told me that I'm pretty. But a lot of it is, like, a lot of the tribulations comes after coming out. But coming out, it does feel like the hardest step. Because, like, once you're already out, it's just like, okay, whatever, everybody already knows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you're kind of expecting it, but coming out, you never know what's about to come out.
Yeah. I feel like once you come out, you're always coming out. Because then it's like, okay, now I'm out. Here I'm comfortable with it. But, like, for me, when I came out, I feel like I've evolved over the years. It's like, now I was just showing Bini, like, the outfits that I'm about to start wearing and shit. Very sexually, like, just in my element. I love showing my motherfucking skin. I hate my body, but I love showing my damn tiggo bitties. Like, I love it. Because, okay? Like, and so, even just wearing those, it's like, damn, like, that's screaming, gaff! But, shit, okay.
Does gaff mean gay as fuck?
I was not looking. Oh,
I'm saying, is that what you mean?
No, it's just fag backwards.
Oh! Oh my gosh, I've been on a completely different. First of all, if you're wearing headphones, so sorry. But I've been on such a completely different page. Before I was like, I don't know what gaff means. Gay something friend, and this time I was like, oh, gay as fuck, and this whole time you just meant.
But damn, I didn't even think gay as fuck. Yeah. True. Shit. No, I just use it as like, because some people don't like the word, you know, the other word. So I'm just like, gaff. That's a gaff right there.
I won't say it for those people. I be saying it all the time.
Look.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, I say all the time. But
you better not say to me, but if I say it about myself,
okay. Exactly.
Like, oh, while we're talking about always feeling out to come out, that's another thing I want to talk about. Trans people do not owe you niggas nothing. I don't have to tell every single person that I meet that I'm fucking trans, okay? Like, yeah, if I am hanging out with, if I'm talking to a dude before we hang out, like, duh, I'm gonna tell him, for one, for him, and two, mainly for me and my safety. But, like, cause, you know, when I would go out, I remember this one specific instance. I went out with my sister and her friends, and we was at the club, and we was dancing. It was just a group dude just comes up behind me and just starts dancing on me because I was shaking my ass. Now, at that point, I was very drunk, but I was just like, whatever. I'll let him. I'll shake my ass. Whatever. It's fine. And then he was trying to say something and whisper in my ear. And I was just like, I gotta go to my friends again. But once he heard my voice, he just got like big eyes. He was just like, that's not what he was expecting. Because, you know, depending on how I present myself, sometimes either people can tell or they're questioning it. It really just depends on what I got on that day. And so I guess he was not expecting it. And I've had like instances where people are like, well, you should like tell a guy when he asks for your number, he comes up to you. I'm like, one, that's not safe for me. And two, that's not my damn business. If you think I'm attractive or if you want to talk to me, I'm not going to be like, hi, my name's Bini, I'm trans.
Yeah.
No. I might give you my number just so you'll get out of my face, but I don't have to tell you nothing unless you want to do something.
Because I'm just giving you my fucking number.
Yeah.
You might not even get a text back.
Like, I'm not about, like, if with anything else that's like personal about you, that's not the first thing you tell somebody.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't be approaching niggas in public, okay?
Yeah.
They be coming to me. They flock. So what do I look like telling every single dude, hey, I'm trans, hey, I'm trans, hey, I'm trans? I was even checking for
so
you.
at what point do you like not have to say that?
I would say probably around 6 months after I started my transition. You know, the hormones was doing their thing. I learned how to dress my body. I've been playing with hair and makeup. So it's just, you know, that's not what makes a woman, but it's just I present very femininely. And I just gotten to a point where it's just like I wasn't getting key hemmed, I wasn't getting served. You know, guys were feeling comfortable to like approach me or things like that when I'm like at the gas station or if I'm going out to get food and things like that.
And I just want to say, as they fucking should, because she's beautiful.
Say that again.
She's fucking beautiful. She's a
time.
motherfucking international sensation.
Hey, you know I love work that pussy. That song is, hey, I'm gonna down and my work that pussy by Tiana Taylor. Yeah, you'll get the reference. I know my gap bags.
Okay. Period. As they should.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy though.
So like, it's been pretty like recently the last couple of months. That's really just been my voice. But I'm also like sometimes I put up, you know, a softer country voice, but like this is just how I talk. I would like change that.
But
it's hard. Your voice gets sore.
Yeah.
Your throat gets sore.
Yeah. I feel like, and that's, I would say you can clock it by the voice. Like even for my guys. And I feel like it's like, no. I don't have people say like, yeah, you're, you know, hetero voice, and you have your it's the same. I just have a very soft, monotone voice.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
Mine's very monotone.
Yeah.
I got that, you know, queer essential pack vocal fry. I draw out my words.
Yeah.
It's like everything's concerning.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like
it's a question.
Because it always is. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
But, so I think, like, I do want to talk about, like, some tips for the people that are on the receiving end of it.
Oh, like, if somebody's coming up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I think, and honestly, truly, when it comes to coming out, I think the best way to handle it, if you're coming out to someone, is to not expect how they're going to respond. If you go into the situation with no expectations on how it's going to come out, you're going to be a lot happier. Because if you're expecting them to be upset and they're happy, you're going to be upset that they're happy. If you're expecting, you can't tell me
They're
I'm
like,
wrong.
we knew. What the fuck you
Literally,
mean, you bitch?
fuck you mean? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Fuck you mean you're so happy? I thought you were gonna hate this, that, and the other.
You ain't got questions for
Literally.
me. You ain't gonna ask me why I did.
I could have come out 2 years ago.
I'm
This, that, and the other. It's a whole thing.
I'm definitely
No
no those
expectations.
situations.
Look, no expectations. And you're gonna be a lot happier. And if you're receiving the information, actually, before I even get into that, if you're scared to come out to someone, and you would prefer to, and this isn't with family, I'm more so referring to friends. If you're scared to come out to them because you're scared of how they will respond, and if they're not going to be your friend, they're not your friend to begin with. I'm going to repeat that. If you're scared to come out to somebody, whether that be your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your whomsoever, and you're scared that they're going to stop talking to you, let them. Because you're neglecting a part of yourself that ultimately you shouldn't be neglecting, and if they're not okay with who you are as a person, they're not your friend. They don't like you, they like the you that you're presenting to them. And whether that be, oh, I'm okay with you being gay, or I'm okay with you being this, as long as you don't do that, fuck no, because this friendship's not coming with stipulations. I'm not, myself, who I am, I'm not coming with stipulations like that. The fuck do you mean? Oh, I'm okay with it as long as you don't wear makeup. Or I'm okay with it as long as you don't do this. Or I'm okay with it as long as I don't sit. No. On to the next one. Goodbye, bitch. I don't care if we've been friends for 12 plus years. Fuck you, and fuck the damn horse that you came in on.
It's kind of hard though whenever you have them come out though, like seeing that aftermath, because like you might be scared, even though your friend might, be completely okay with it. Like for example, when I came out as trans, I was fucking terrified to tell my parents. My dad, like most fathers are with their queer children, we didn't talk for a couple months because he wasn't really saying the right things or really doing anything. He was just kind of like, yeah, sure, like whatever your mom says. And I learned that like I had a right to be upset and to accept that. So he got right, and he kind of got over and like worked through his feelings of loss, because being the only son of African is like a big thing. And I was like, yeah, psych, no, zero, no sons, like none. So, but my mom, even though I was scared, she like whenever she responded to me, whenever she responded, whenever I came out, I was like, damn, I feel like I should have done this 5 years ago. But so it's just like you really never know until you do it. So it's kind of scary. Like, yeah, that might be your best friend, but you might not know who they really are.
Yeah.
So it's like it could go really bad or it could go really well. But I feel like a lot of the fear comes from yourself.
I mean, for example, when I came out to Bini, I had no idea what her response was going to be. I had no idea. I mean, yes, you helped me immensely with like understanding who it was that I was as a person, but it's still one of those things where it's like, I can help you. I can help you become a stripper. That doesn't mean I'm going to support you as a stripper.
What would you actually go ahead and consider?
Oh, I'd be on that damn pole with you. Okay? And so, but I damn sure was not expecting Bini to come out to me after that. So you coming out to someone may result in them coming out to you. You have no idea. No expectations.
In special cases.
Look,
I've had a lot of like other like Burundians around my age after I come out that have come out as well. And I was like, hey, look at all of us.
Literally. I've helped so many people come out.
So it can definitely help, but that also shouldn't be your priority.
Yeah.
It's gotta be you.
Yeah. Exactly. I was just about to say, you are your own priority. And if you're on the receiving end of this, I think a lot of people get scared. I think the best thing to say is, even if you don't accept them or you don't understand, the best answer that you can say is, Thank you for trusting me with this information.
Yes, please do not make it about you. I repeat, do not make it about you.
Because it's not. This is
Oh my God.
if they told you, some people may not care. Some people, like, it could have taken them months. Just understand this is not your time to shine. It's not your time to shine at all. You got the damn umbrella.
None of that. Oh my gosh, like I wish you would have told me sooner. What could I have done?
Yeah.
Or, like all of that stuff. Like my dad got mad at me because I was mad that they forced me to come out. And I was like, this don't make sense. Why am I apologizing?
Okay.
Right now.
Literally. Just understand that it's not easy. It's not easy for us. It's not easy for anyone.
Whatever you're going through, that person that came out to you is going through it 10 times worse. So,
exactly.
Like, you know, bite the fucking bullet a little bit. Suck it up.
Yeah. And then if you have questions after, ask them after. But I think that for me, the best thing that someone could have said is, thank you for consoling me and trusting me with this information. I know that it's not easy. Or I don't know. You don't know that it's not easy because you've never had to go through it. So I can only imagine what it's like to tell someone this. So I thank you for that.
And also, if you don't know what the fuck to say, that's also okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would so much rather you tell me, like, I'm happy you told me and you feel comfortable to do that. I don't really know how to process the information at this moment. You know, because some people, like, yeah, I'd rather you take a day or two to think about what you want to say than just saying some shit that you don't mean.
Yeah.
Or saying some shit out of ignorance and now we box.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Because, look,
that's an acceptable answer too. Because shit, it might be new to you. That might be the very first queer person that you ever met in your life. And you don't know nothing outside of what your family tells you or what you see on TV. So that's okay. Like, I definitely take into consideration, like, hey, my parents 4 months before I moved back in, I came out purposely so that they would be able to digest that information for a little bit. Because I'm like, yeah, you know, the person you raised is a lot different than the person that, you know, you're living with now. So I'm gonna let you take some time to get used to it. But at the same time, you're gonna respect me. And at the same time, you're gonna respect what I just told you.
Yeah. And don't let somebody pressure you to come out. Whether that be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your family, your aunt, your uncle, come out when you're ready. Because people love to get into relationships and be like, I'm gonna come. I had this one. I said on the last podcast who was like, I'm ready to come out because of you. Don't do that. Come out because of yourself. Come out because you want to come out. Come out because you're ready to be who you are.
I had a nigga very recently do that. I told his cousin.
Because you can be hurt.
I was talking to his cousin on the phone. I was like, whoa. She did not know before we got on the phone that he was into trans women. I am not talking to that man now. So I'm like, baby, you should have waited.
Okay? We should have waited till you were ready. So, I don't know. But I don't know. If you're young, I just want to let y'all know it gets better over time. You accept yourself over time. Again, if you want to use that driving analogy, you get better at driving. Hopefully, you get better at driving over time. Some people still don't know how to park and be having their license for years, but it gets better over time. It's like cooking. You learn how to cook. And now you're making this meal, and now you're making more meals, and bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know.
But we do want to acknowledge though, for some people,
it's not as easy.
It does not get better.
It does not get better. And
some people die closeted.
Yeah.
People come out, and so I don't want to be, you know, dismissive to that point as well. We're definitely speaking for those who have like the privilege and the safety to come out, but we're still very much thinking about those who aren't able to, especially on like days like Trans Remembrance Day, or like Trans Visibility Day. It definitely made me think of like how many people are still in the closet. Because I mean, sometimes I think about like, damn, I waited so long, and I'm only 20 years old.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's people right now who are 50, 60, 70, and they never got that chance.
Yeah. I mean, even as like being lesbian, gay, bi, man, there's people that don't come out because they may be with someone, or, I mean, for example, the person that, got 2 kids. And it's like, whole family homophobic. Not everybody gets that option to be able to express themselves and be themselves. So when y'all ask, why are you making it a big deal? I'm making it a big deal because it is a big deal.
I don't know why. I was like, are you talking about Baby Daddy number 2? I was like, did you tell you about him?
I was like, huh?
I was like, damn, that's real specific. I was like, is this Jen game to me? I don't tell you about that. I was like, how long have I been going on?
No. So we're definitely not dismissive, and if you're listening to this and you feel like you relate to that you can't come out for those reasons, I'm sorry. And I hate that you do have to go through that. I hate that not everyone is as open as the people that we surround ourselves with. And I hope and pray that over time you're able to. But some people are not. They're not at all. And y'all have to understand that. So do not, I don't know. When it comes to those situations and you have the people that are like, no, it'll be fine. Just come out, just come out, just come out. It'll be fine. No, it might not be because you don't know their situation. You know them when you're at school. You know them when you're at work. You know them when you're at the mall. You know them when you're this, but you don't know them when you're at home. You do not know them when they're at home. They could be going home and getting the shit beat out, diarrhea shit beat out of them. And you do not know that. So, people are ruthless in this world, and it is a dangerous world out there. So we're not gonna disbark on that or pass that. It happens. We're just privileged to not see it happen. And for the vast majority of y'all listening to this are also privileged.
This pause is him watching me destroy this joke.
I'm on the verge of being on my damn ass.
I've been leaped over this glass this whole podcast. If y'all are watching this, I look silly. I know. Y'all ain't see nothing but the top of my head.
And the empty glass. But I think that's a pretty good episode there. Mm-hmm. And I think I feel good closing it off. Did you have any more tips or any more pointers or any topics you wanted to bring up?
I just wanted to reiterate, for those of you who have been able to come out, congratulations. And yes. I hope this is, the start of a new beginning. And for those who haven't, we're still thinking of you. And it's all love, babes.
It's all love. And hopefully you get the chance. And hopefully when you get that chance, you are given the love that you deserve. And if you don't get that chance, understand that we love you and that we understand to a degree, because unfortunately we're not in that position, or I guess fortunately we're not in that position, and unfortunately you have to be. Does that make sense? Okay. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming back on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And to all the listeners, thank you so much for listening to me speak for, I don't know how long the editing version will be, but X amount of time.
Yes, thank you. Thank y'all for listening. Some of y'all may be listening to this and it doesn't pertain to y'all, but honestly, truly, it pertains to everybody, because whether you be hetero, homosexual, homo-heterosexual, pansexual, transsexual, is transsexual?
And the words that Tyra motherfucking Banks, learn something from this.
Learn something! I've never had to yell at a girl like this in my life! We were all rooting for you. Yes, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for everyone. Period. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I forgot to tell y'all, but hit that subscribe button so that y'all can get more informational episodes like this and drink with us on a nice little Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Bini Sharizo. That is BINI.SHARIZO. And I don't feel like repeating that.
Period. And y'all know where to find us at OBW Pod on all social media. We are on TikTok as well and YouTube at OBW. So definitely hit that subscribe button, follow us, and tell me what y'all think in the review section down below.
Yeah, write a fucking review, bruh. Update your Spotify.
Okay.
And one last thing. Happy tourist season, guys.
I'm fucking
Like, isn't the weather so much better? Isn't your skin clearing up? Like, hey.
So just wanted to throw that out there for my little tourist level.
I know I'm doing good.
Period. Look, I'm doing good with the squinty eyes. I'm over here getting a little drunk. Like a shit.
My friend Jada's birthday tomorrow. We're gonna be out this weekend.
Y'all gonna be out in the city.
Big purr.
Big purr. Period. Well, y'all have a lovely one. Gulp down them damn drinks. I'm gonna have to gulp this by myself because somebody been drinking by themselves already.
Okay. You're making me look like a mess.
Okay. And I will see y'all in next week's episode. Bye.
Mwah.